We don't have an intro for this now that I think about it, but we are back with
We do not.
We're back with Hyperfixation Station. It's because we only do it once a month. If this is like an every week thing, we probably would have figured it out by now.
Honestly, we should boost it up to like twice a month.
No,
I
but
feel like that will give us.
Okay, but like, do you want to do that much work?
No, but you do one and then I do one every month.
But like, that's so much work.
It's not as much. It's probably less work than streaming every day.
Streaming every day is not hard because you just think of a game to play and then you turn the computer on. That's not. I do that even if I
think about talking to people.
So I'm not an introvert. I don't have to think about talking to people. I just do it.
Can't relate.
Yeah, no. So I mean, streaming is for me at the very least. I just turn on. I'm doing what I would do anyway. I'd be like, even when I'm in college, this is what I was doing. I was playing video games and talking to you guys. So this literally is not any different from what I was already doing. Now, if I can get famous enough to start getting paid for this, like regularly, then we cook it. But this is what I was doing anyway. This is not work for me. Hyperfixation Station is a little bit of work because I have to figure out what I want to talk about, and then I have to gather enough passion to talk about it.
Next month, I get to talk about my beautiful wizard husband.
Like, I have a list of stuff that I want to do for Hyperfixation Station. I was almost going to replace this entirely and just make it about goths. Like, why we all love goth girls.
God.
And it would have been appropriate for Halloween, but like I said, I couldn't gather enough passion to talk about it. So, we'll leave that for now. There's Kaiba, there's just Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. There's Yugi, and I mean little Yugi Moto, which is actually the wrong way to say his name. Everyone says Yugi Moto, but his name's pronounced Muto.
I was unaware of that.
I'm going to actually take this one off because we're doing this one today. Talking about Kratos and the trope of lone wolf and cub, and that's all I have on the.
I love that trope so much.
It's such a good trope. I'm actually going to cover one of the other tropes that I want to do today in today's thing.
I also have like a handful that I want to do. I'm deeply resisting the urge to scrap my fucking wizard.
Don't scrap it. Just put it in the background.
Well, yeah, exactly, but not doing that one next month and doing a fucking just breakdown of this insane horror game that came out recently that has completely consumed my mind.
I mean, if you ever want to do a Hyperfixation Station sooner, you could just let me know. But, because it would be appropriate with Halloween and everything, but it would have to be like tomorrow.
Exactly, yeah, I have a Halloween party this weekend too, so I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, even if you didn't. It's just for sake of podcast listeners, what's going on in my life right now is that next week my power will be going out, and I don't know how long it's going to be out for. I think about a week, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I need to get some music. Let me do this one. I use this one a lot. No, Dizzy's just yelling no in all caps. But now that I have the music, we're ready to start. Let me go ahead and grab this real quick. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Eventually I'll make a Patreon so you guys can go there for stuff, but for now we don't have one. Make sure Magic can see it. All right.
Wait, I said no to the game. I know which one it is. No, wait, Dizzy, what are you talking about? We're talking about the game I was talking about, or did you talk about a game?
If Dizzy's talking about a game, it's likely Sims.
Dizzy, have you played mouthwashing? Dizzy.
It sounds disgusting. What the fuck?
It has consumed my brain. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I could do a whole Hyperfixation Station about it right now, and all it would be is just a single photo of, like, one of the characters.
There is I'm setting up right now, which is why I'm kind of lagging. But Fucking, there is
If anyone here,
a scene. Like, yeah, go ahead while I type this.
oh, I was gonna say, if anyone here has played or seen someone play mouthwashing, Daisuke mouthwashing is the only thing that matters to me. I love Daisuke so much. He is literally the boy ever. Peach pie cream cheese. I love him so dearly.
I don't know what that means. Sounds gross.
He's the sweetest little guy.
It sounds like a horror game in which you have to do gentle.
It is not. It is. I don't want to hear about. Why not, Dizzy? Why not? It is honestly one of the most harrowing experiences I've ever had playing a video game. It is honestly kind of awful in the way that, like, I don't think I could ever play that game a second time.
Okay, well, I was gonna mention that you're one of my favorite animes of all time. Some weird ass anime shit happens, and two characters like make a bet, and one of them loses the bet, but like the scene is someone else brushing your teeth for you, and it's really, really fucking awkward and weird.
I remember hearing about that when that happened.
It's so bizarre. Like I watched that scene when I was like in middle school, so I was like, eh. But like now that I'm an adult, I'm like, that's fucking weird. Get out of my mouth.
Siblings too?
Yeah.
Ew.
I think the point was that it was really weird. Which is why they did it. The point was that it was weird, but it was weird. I didn't like it. Let me take a little sip of some water. Oh my god, I saw you start stream hours ago. Said to myself I'll join as soon as I'm done with this chapter, and didn't. Well, you're here now. That's what matters. How you doing, Lucky? All right, now we're officially actually starting. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite things to see in any kind of story in which you have to, in which a protagonist has to go on an adventure of any kind: the rival fight. So, the rival fight, in my opinion, is the most compelling fight. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fight, but 9 times out of 10 it is. In any medium. And in some cases, it's more compelling than the actual antagonist of the story. And what it is, it's a fight between the protagonist and someone of a similar goal of the protagonist, or they have similar skills. There are multiple ways that this takes form. But for me, it's compelling because it's an even match, and I think that's the best. Watching someone wash another person is entertaining for its own reason, but I think everybody here can agree to the fact that what gets people going when seeing a fight is how even a match is and who's going to edge out on top, because it can go one person has the upper hand and the other person has the upper hand. It keeps going back and forth. There's a lot of like swings and misses between that dynamic. Excuse me. In some cases, they're fighting for similar goals, but they have different ways of working. For example, you and I could both achieve the goal of streaming 2 very different ways. You could, for instance, just do only chatting streams, and I play video games, and if that just in that and of itself has a certain dynamic when we will be, for whatever reason, have to confront each other. There are certain things where their goals just directly oppose each other, so they're inherently just going to get in each other's way. It's a test of skills, their skills and your own skills, because that happens to you sometimes.
Yes.
If they have the same type of skills, like they have the same type of skills, as you can see, I have Sonic and Shadow over here on the right. It's who can use the skills more effectively. There's also some cases of the rival antagonist in which the rival character is also the bad guy. It's also just good for motivation of characters, and it's just a measuring stick. Who's stronger at this person at the particular moment. You'll have usually stuff like that. The measuring stick happens multiple times throughout the journey. A good way of doing that measuring stick would be like Goku versus Vegeta. Goku is actually weaker than Vegeta when Vegeta first shows up. It actually takes everybody to beat Vegeta as opposed to just Goku. And Goku actually technically loses that fight. However, as that series progresses, they're either on even footing or Goku is just straight up stronger. This also is allows for a trope to happen that I quite enjoy called Red Oni, Blue Oni. I'm literally just going to read off the slide here. This trope is about two individuals who are significantly linked together somehow, that have differing personalities, and with it, often different approaches to the world in general, especially whatever they might be pitting in for or over. This, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I also really do love this trope.
It's a really good trope.
I thought, like, I had, like, weird, like, feelings about, like, the enemies to lovers, like, shipping dynamic. I thought, like, there's some that I really like and some that I really don't, and I was, like, thought I didn't like it, but had exceptions, things like that. No, I like rivals to lovers. I don't like enemies to lovers. I like shit like this than, like dynamics like this. I don't like pure antagonistic opposing forces kind of thing.
I can only imagine that because villains to lovers is kind of toxic.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing, usually because a lot of the things I like have villains that are very like, uh-oh.
One day I'll do let me write it down right now while I'm thinking about it, because I would love to do a Hyperfixation Station on fucking flamboyant villains.
Yes.
Sneak peek for that. The reason why a lot of villains are flamboyant is because of an old TV law in which they said which basically said gays eat.
Mm-hmm. The Hays Code.
Yeah.
You could depict homosexuality, but only in a manner that you were depicting it as something that you should morally be against.
Yeah, gays evil in that sense.
Or if you had gays in a movie, like if you had like an openly gay character, they needed to die before the movie was over.
I don't like two people with totally different personalities and values and stuff ending up as lovers because it makes no sense. Rivals makes much more sense. Yeah, that's also a good point. But that's why I said it's more like if you see like villains, antagonists to lovers, it's usually in a sense of that it's kind of toxic. Like it's more of like a possession kind of love as opposed to like actual like healthy fucking relationship.
Yeah, it's either a possession type thing with the villain being dominating, or it's someone thinking that the villain is attractive and then completely rewriting their personality for them to be a better person. And either way, I'm not a fan.
This, of course, gives them something to butt heads about when they in the context of Red Oni, Blue Oni, since their manner of acting may rub each other the wrong way, or each other is sure that their way of doing is right. They're being really stubborn. To be more specific, Red Oni is associated with passion, wildness, defiance. Red Oni characters is often more brawny than brainy, extroverted, enthusiastic, determined, and they filled with the zest of life. They are also much more likely to break conventional rules than their counterpart, as opposed to the Blue Oni, which is associated with serenity, control, observing authority. Blue Oni personalities are often respected by others, but also likely to puzzle, confound, or even intimidate their peers because they are difficult to read and have a mysterious quality to them. Some of you may be looking at me, looking at how I'm dressed, looking at all the sharp edges and everything, the red coat, and think, oh, that guy's a Red Oni. Plot twist, I'm a Blue Oni, actually. I used to be very quiet, very reserved to myself, and lots of things in high school happened to where I was just like, nah, fuck that, this isn't cool anymore. So here I am. I am a Blue Oni trying to be a Red Oni, if that helps your sensibilities.
I think we're Red Oni, Blue Oni only when the two of us are together.
No, you haven't. You apparently have not seen me conversate with anyone. I'm very, very outgoing when it comes to other people, but with certain other people who are more extroverted than me, I become more Blue Oni.
No, that's what I meant. You're the Red Oni to my Blue Oni, but you are regularly a Blue Oni because it's when we're together we're Red Oni, Blue Oni.
Sure.
Because you're always trying to get a rise out of me.
Yes, it's because you react to things very funny.
Yeah.
In Pokemon, Pokemon is probably the best example for a rival character because the rival is usually with you from the beginning to the end of the game. Gary. I don't know a single motherfucker on this planet that's like, fuck Gary. Yeah. Right? Like, everyone kind of like, shut the fuck up. Gary, shut the fuck up. The way that he's programming the game is that he chooses a Pokemon that's strong against your starter. So he always chooses second, and he chooses something that your starter is weak to. And then he taunts you the whole entire game about how many Pokemon you've captured. Like, oh, I've caught this many Pokemon. Oh, I've caught this many Pokemon. You've only caught this many? Oh, what a fucking loser. So, obviously, with the many times you battle him throughout the fucking game, you just want to kick his shit in. Inherently, you guys have the same types of skill sets because you guys build your teams. It's the same mechanics for everybody. Pokemon works the same way for everybody. So, I mean, and then in the sense that, like, in the game, it's red and blue. So, there's the red only blue only thing right there going on. What were you about to say?
Oh, I wasn't about to say anything. Although you mentioning the red Oni, blue Oni for red and blue is kind of interesting because red is the quiet, collected one, and blue is the one that's like yelling and.
I should have mentioned that. I'm gonna mention it
chaotic.
Later. But I'm not gonna mention it later. I'm actually glad you brought that up. Then, red Oni, blue Oni is literally just a trope. It doesn't have to be as on the nose as red and blue. For example, For example, in Bayonetta, there's Bayonetta and Jean. Jean, for the whole entire game, you see her, she's in red, but when you get to her actual boss fight, she changes to white.
Yep. No, I know it wasn't like just determined on colors. I just thought that was a funny dichotomy that you gave, like the description of red and blue, but then red and blue and Pokemon are the opposites. I just found that interesting.
Fun fact on Pokemon Yellow, Gary gets an Eevee, right? If you were to lose to him 2 times, his Eevee will become a Vaporeon. Lose 1 time, so it'll become a Flareon. And if you kept winning, it'll become a Jolteon. Programming. That makes Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee a lot more interesting too. I haven't played those games. Do you have a rival in that one, and do they pick the opposite quote in quotations of what you choose? Speaking of red and blue, I get them. They run a honeymoon in Alola. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one, Magic.
No. Oh, wait, I missed it. I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking to the commenter.
Well, I was surprised you didn't say anything about I ship red and blue.
Oh, that's just normal.
Yeah, everyone does that. I'm the odd one out here.
Everyone does that. Girl, that is so common.
Silver. Silver is probably my favorite one of the Pokemon rivals, besides the one that I'm about to mention here in a second. Because he steals his starter and then only cares about getting stronger. And you don't know anything about his backstory. At least I don't remember anything about his backstory, but you can really tell that motherfucker had a rough upbringing. The fact that he felt the need to steal his starter, that's such a really good, like, gritty beginning to something. And then as you beat him, you teach him, like, you don't have to do things this way. You're not in that environment anymore. That's such an interesting dynamic in my opinion. But I think for me, the one that stands out the most is not even from an official game. It's the Pokerogue rival. So for people who haven't played Pokerogue, specifically Magic, did you even see me play Pokerogue?
I did not. I don't know what this is.
Okay, so Pokerogue makes Pokemon a roguelike. Do you know what a roguelike is? Do you need to explain that too?
Yeah.
Okay, so a roguelike is, Hades?
Yes.
That. It's basically you have one run of the game and you try to get through the whole entire game within that run. And there's a lot of other different factors to it, like what power-ups you get, what abilities you get, what enemies you get sometimes. It's all entirely like random and procedurally generated in quotation marks. I don't think I used the term procedurally generated correctly. But basically what happens is if you die, that's it. You have to start over from the beginning. It turns Pokemon into that with those mechanics, and it's probably the most fun Pokemon game I've ever played.
Interesting.
What were you about to say?
I'm not sure. I think I was about to say, like, there used to be that game that was like Rogue Spire or whatever, where you played like a knight, and every time you died, you became a different knight with different buffs and debuffs, and you had like a different name, and you were like a multi-generational lineage of knights anytime you
Yeah,
died.
that's a roguelike, yes. I was talking about that game recently too. I know what game you're talking about. I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of it is.
Neither can I.
Speaking of Hades, ever since I first saw him, Zagreus has had a chokehold on me, and I never intended getting out. Oh, speaking of Lucky Magic, I think this is the first time you two are meeting.
Oh.
Lucky is also gay as fuck.
Yeah.
Lucky is male though.
WLW MLM solidarity.
But in Poker Rogue, depending on what your team is, your rival will choose Pokemon to specifically counter your Pokemon. And I think the best part about it is that the actual story for that rival is probably the best writing just in general, because as I mentioned, you can't lose. Like if you lose, the game is over. So as you go on throughout your journey in Poker Rogue, you run into him a couple of times, and he's like, "You really haven't taken a loss? Dude, how have you taken? This doesn't make sense. You have to lose at some point, right?" And you just get stronger and stronger, and he has a fucking mental breakdown about how he just can't beat you. I say he because I played as a girl, and depending on Poker Rogue, if you play as a boy or a girl, it changes who your rival is. So I played as a girl, so my rival was Finn. I don't know who the male rival is, or the female rival is. So I will not be talking about her. I'll be talking about the male one. And as you see here, at some point, right, it gets to a point where he's so ticked off and crazed that you're beating him every time, he stops talking to you. It's just on sight. He walks up to you, you guys make eye contact like in the Pokemon games, and he just doesn't say anything and starts battling.
God. It's like immediate aggression.
And then I got jump scared. By something that happened. I'm just gonna play the clip.
Well, it killed itself. Whoa, good boy. Holy shit.
This motherfucker.
Is it randomized or does he just have that?
He always gets this
Rayquaza.
Really
tired of losing, huh?
What the fuck? It's rough.
Wow, he was really sick of losing.
Yeah, so that motherfucker was so mad. He caught there's a special type of shiny variant that the games have for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
That was not a regular shiny.
It was a super special shiny. That was fucking silver and green. Now, I may have been fucking around because the starter that I chose for that game was Giratina. So I was fucking around, but I was not prepared for fucking Rayquaza. He said, "No more games, bitch boy." Well, you know what's hilarious about that, Lucky? I still won.
Time to die.
There we go. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Wasn't in full screen. Anyway, so my first ever rival fight was not Pokemon because I didn't play Pokemon until high school. It wasn't in the video game because I actually didn't really play video games all that often. It was Sonic games. I played a couple Crash Bandicoot games, but that was for the most part it. I didn't really have any money for games. As you can see by the screen, my first rival fight was Naruto and Sasuke. Now, Naruto and Sasuke at this point are at odds. They've always kind of been at odds with each other, but they were teammates. So they weren't ever like, it wasn't going to be any more than like, aha, loser, I'm stronger than you, aha. But like at this point, Sasuke has grown up. Sasuke has grown up being worked hard, very hard from a childhood. So he's like like the stereotype that Asian parents always work their kids hard. That's what Sasuke's life was up to that point. He was expected to do well. And then his whole entire clan got wiped out in a night, and he was
Pudgycat has rated the channel with 19 viewers. Welcome back, Pudgycat and Raiders. Let's prowl through chaos and magic together, spreading joy and mischief in our whimsical realm. Get ready for an adventure filled with unforgettable moments and wild fun.
Pudgy, thank you so much for the raid. I've been streaming all day, so I didn't get to see what you were up to. But what were you up to? If you're not already following Pudgy, please do so. Go and give you a shout out. There you go. Please go ahead and follow Pudgy. As Nana was saying, he's screaming, Naruto! Well, welcome in, Raiders. I'm the Infinite Dragon. I'm here with Probably Magical. We are doing our podcast, Hyperfixation Station. Basically, we just talk about what's on our mind and what's consuming us at the moment. And right now, I really want to talk about rival fights and why they're fucking awesome. Oh, excuse me. But as I was saying, Sasuke has been worked hard, and he was expected to do well. And then he lost his whole entire family in a single night to his brother. So his goal, even as a young child, was, I have to get back from my family. I have to kill my brother. Right? Naruto doesn't have anything, and him being the protagonist obviously gets protagonist privilege, right? So he starts learning and getting stronger and stronger. And this, seeing how fast Naruto is growing, starts frustrating Sasuke a little bit. Now obviously he's not coming from an understanding of Naruto literally started at 0 skills, and you can only go up from 0. He was already at a high enough level, and he's getting frustrated with his progress. So he goes, you know what? I'm gonna go fight. I'm gonna go join the bad guys. The bad guys are gonna be able to give me power quicker than hanging around with you guys. So I'm gonna fuck off.
Is that what happens to Sasuke? I've never watched Naruto, but I know at some point Sasuke like becomes a douchebag.
So I want to point out that this is the equivalent of me going to you and going, you know what, Magic, I almost just said your government name. You know what, Magic, I'm tired of I'm frustrated with my growth on Twitch. I'm gonna become a right-wing grifter.
Oh no!
That's basically what
that is.
That's basically what Sasuke just did.
No! Sasuke went the Bin Shabibo route! Oh, now I'm imagining him being like reading the lyrics to fucking WAP.
So
Sakura, I never get Sakura's pussy wet.
Nah. So obviously, what happens? Naruto's like, no, don't do that. That's fucking stupid. I have to stop you because 1, this is a bad decision, and 2, you can get stronger over here. It's just gonna take a little bit. What are we doing? Pudgy also mentions that this is the best forms. This is the most goated fight in anime. This is like, if it's not number 1, it's definitely top 5, just period, all across the board. And the problem was that Kakashi was training Sasuke, which Jiraiya was training Naruto. So Naruto got stronger, stupid, fast out of nowhere. This is also true. I don't know how to explain that to Magic, who has never seen Naruto.
Yeah, no, I was about to be like, huh?
This is the equivalent of having a really cool teacher versus a college professor.
Oh.
Like you I'm sure you had a cool high school teacher. You're like, oh, this guy's cool. I like being in his class. And this is the difference between getting one of those and getting one of those in college.
Yeah.
So he just had to train with Orochimaru since he's the same level as Jiraiya. You know, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that's true. He basically just went to the bad guy's version of a he went to go train with Peterson.
Jesus fucking Christ. He transferred from where we went to school to like BYU.
I just made a reference that only Magic would get. It was one of our. It was
No,
one of.
it is completely correct.
I
Super villain.
never really got his choice. Why did he take it personally? So that's Naruto took it personally because he's like, bro, what you're doing is fucking stupid, and it was stupid. It was. He did not. Sasuke did get stronger, but like what are we doing here?
Way.
What are we doing here? You know what I mean?
He got stronger, but like by using bad means. It's like he became a lawyer by using Chat GPT to pass all his tests. Like
Jesus Christ. It's all a bad idea, but Orochimaru made too many promises that he just couldn't pass up. Yes, all of this is true. But so now that we have a little bit more context about their relationship in terms of like how the story goes, let's talk about their skills. Naruto knows the Rasengan, which is, I'm sure you've seen the Rasengan. It's like one of two moves Naruto uses. Sasuke knows
I saw
that you
him
do
turn
it.
into a lady one time. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's actually a reference to what the Nine-Tailed Fox itself. The Nine-Tailed Fox is based off of kitsune in Japanese folklore, which traditionally transform into beautiful women and lure men to do stuff with them. As far as I know for a fact that they have sex, I don't know if they do anything after that point.
So you don't know if they're like sirens or if they're just like horny.
Yeah, as far as I know, they're just horny. They might kill him after the fact. I don't know.
Damn, what's Crazy Red be getting up to in that tent?
Sasuke knows the Chidori, which is basically like that lightning technique. I'm also sure you've seen even out of context.
Yeah, probably. That I've most likely seen because everyone's seen Sasuke do his little hand things.
Yeah. We already talked about their story. Naruto worked hard and found what worked for him. The two techniques. He only knows two techniques. Throughout the entirety of Naruto, he only uses two moves. But one of those moves he's really good at.
Just get really good at one thing. Isn't that the plot of Mashal?
Yes. It is the plot of Mashal. Also watch Mashal. It's really good.
I should.
And Sasuke was always talented. He can do multiple things. He's very good. He's multifaceted in a lot of things. But again, because Naruto came up from zero, his growth was a lot faster and he got frustrated with that. Naruto has the Nine-Tailed Fox. At this point in the series, Sasuke has the curse mark, which is what Orochimaru gave him. And the Sharingan, which is just broken. I'm not gonna.
That's the eyes thing.
That's the eyes thing. For all intents and purposes, I'm only going to explain it as Sasuke can see faster. That's all you need to do.
Drink a soda; it'll help you see faster.
As someone who's never watched Naruto, Sasuke is better. He's better up until the point where he actually becomes a terrorist. Now, obviously, Naruto wants Sasuke to stay with him, and Sasuke's frustrated and chooses to leave.
Wants him to stay, wants to kiss him.
Yes, you can't tell me Naruto is not gay for Sasuke. Because at some point, I don't care if we were friends, I just have to kill you at some point. Like, all the shit that Sasuke does, I just gotta beat your ass. You can't tell me these two aren't gay. Like, they just are. Obviously, because of the previous formats, I can't play the actual fight. Here, I would love this fight. Can't do it. So, that's all we're getting for this slide.
Okay, but
They did kiss one time, yes.
Yeah, that too. But also, the real, like, indisputable, like, rivals to lovers relationship, I think, is, Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, but they were specifically written to be like that.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying, like, because you always, like, argue with me on ships, but you're like, Naruto and Sasuke are gay. It's like, no. The one that you can never refute is Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth.
No, like, who would refute that? It's gay as hell.
Dumbasses.
Also, Rocket Pal says, beat his ass to get his ass?
Beat his ass to get his ass, and that, I live by that.
Yes. Now we have Yu-Gi-Oh! This is my excuse to talk about Kaiba, because I didn't have the energy to make the PowerPoint about Kaiba, like I said, like 4 months ago. Kaiba Uwu, correct.
Hyper.
Now,
Ooh.
now I want to sing Kaiba's praises here in a second, but Yugi 100% represents the past. The pharaoh is 3,000/5,000 years old. I'll say 3,000/5,000 because it depends on what dub you're listening to. If you listen to the Japanese dub, it's 3,000. If you listen to, it's 1,000. One of them. It's either 1,000 or 5,000. He's old, is what I'm trying to get to. He's fucking old.
Ancient ass bitch.
He's old, and he believes in the power of teamwork and his friends and shit. And he has, like, I don't really have to explain too much about Yugi because Yugi's pretty, like, stereotypical shonen protag, white bread. Like, believes in his friend. He believes in his friend. His friends are his power.
Believe it.
Yeah. So, like, I don't have to explain too much about Yugi, but Kaiba himself represents the future, and he believes in himself, and for good fucking reason. Now, the things you know about Kaiba is that you know Kaiba likes fucking Blue Eyes White Dragon and that he's rich. That's all you know about Kaiba?
Yeah, and that's his girlfriend.
Yes, and that's his girlfriend. Kaiba was not born rich. He was actually born an orphan.
Oh, his parents failed to show up to his own birth.
My friends are my power. Yes, indeed. The Kaiba was a fucking orphan, and all he had in his life was obviously the orphanage and his brother. And obviously, most of the time when orphanages are portrayed in media, they fucking suck. I'm not sure if his particular orphanage was like abusive or anything, but it sucked. So at some point, big CEO man that I don't remember the name of I just remember his last name was also Kaiba, which is why we get Seto Kaiba. Came through and he was like, adopting a child will make me look good, but I don't think I'm actually going to do that. And Kaiba goes, hey, if you play me at chess and I win, you have to adopt me and my brother.
Kaiba has a brother?
Yeah, Mokuba.
I did not know this.
You do now. You probably would actually like Mokuba. He's adorable. Big dick indeed. It's fucking cool. Now, here's the even crazier part about this statement. About that little factoid about Kaiba. Kaiba cheats. Kaiba cheats in order to get this man to adopt him. So we're already at this point where he's already willing to do anything necessary in order to make shit safe for him and his brother. So, and this is when he's like fucking like 6, 7. Like, he wasn't that old. Yeah, Yugi
damn.
doesn't. No, I'm talking about we're not talking about the card game, all right? Relax. We're talking about chess. The card game isn't even invented yet. Kaiba will do anything for the little dude, but this is why this is important and why Yugi's shit is important. So he already is believing in himself. Now, it didn't help that he got fucking adopted by Big CEO Man, because Big CEO Man was like, all right, you're gonna be my son, you have to fucking work hard. And then again, it's the fucking sheltered, tortured Asian stereotype fucking living. So he was trained, he was allowed no quarter. Basically he's been forced and worked really hard to keep things like status quo for the way things are. And his adoptive dad, I think at some point he like fucks up a business investment, right? And I think things were going downhill at some point. This is me trying to remember off the top of my head. I did not do the research here. I'm just kind of going off the top, so somebody will correct me. But his dad fails a fucking business investment or some shit, and goes, "Hey, Kaiba, pay attention really close to what's happening right now. This is what happens to losers," and he fucking kills himself. So now it is at this point where Kaiba gets it in his mind that losing is the equivalent of death. You have to win in all things or you actually just die.
Yeah, because that's the fucking Shadow Realm is just death.
Yeah, this is
the Japanese version.
in the Japanese version, it is just death. In the English version, it's just like, oh no. But so the thing is, he doesn't care about any of that. Depending on which version you're watching, the dub version, he just straight up goes like, "What the fuck? What? I don't believe in fucking Jake. What are you talking about?" But the original translation of it is just like he just doesn't care. What the fuck does this got to do with me? I don't care about your fucking magic ancient pharaoh bullshit. I don't. It ain't got shit to do with me. Fuck it, right? Which honestly makes sense. Why would he care? Now, because of everything that's been going on in Kaiba's life, he's really struggling to put everything behind him. So he's forced to take over the company because that's just how business works, I guess. He takes over the company, and he's still in high school at the point where he's taking over the company, and he changes the company from a weapons manufacturer to a games manufacturer. I think it's like all kinds of games, not just like the cards, but because it was originally the card game was originally a different company, and he uses his fucking blood money to buy that company. So in the manga, it's actually hell, I think. Yeah, basically. So he uses that to buy a thing, and he really likes the card game Yu-Gi-Oh, so he chooses to be the best at it, and then you get a whole bunch of fucking shenanigans and whatnot, like him taking the 4th blue eyes and ripping it up, and now there's only 3 blue eyes, and now he has 3 blue eyes with him at all times. It's favorite card, yada yada yada. But Kaiba really struggles to put his past behind him. In fact, one of the more popular tournaments that he hosts, his whole entire plan was to beat Yugi, who's the quote-unquote king of games, the best duelist that ever was to ever do it, right? His whole entire plan is to do that, get the fucking 3 Egyptian god cards, and fucking destroy his father's military tower bullshit on a random island. So he was gonna do all of that all at once. He was gonna get the god cards, become the strongest duelist in name, destroy his father's the rest of his father's legacy, live happy, right? Obviously because of plot, and because Yugi's the protagonist, none of that happens. Actually, none of it. He loses his god card. He still gets to destroy the building, but it wasn't on the terms that he wanted to do it. And he obviously does not get the title King of Games. So he just kind of sulking the whole entire time. But Yugi goes, "Hey man, think about it like this. Your childhood did in fact suck, but not all of that was that bad. Like, there had to be some good moments in there too." And this is when he thinks about his little brother, Mokuba. And he thinks about everything that him and Mokuba wanted to do for each other, do with each other rather. And he thinks about his original dream. Do you know what Kaiba's dream was?
Oh, what was it?
His dream was to open an amusement park where orphans get in free.
Oh my god, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard, I think.
So
that's truly just like brewed in a lab to be really upsetting.
So, yeah, after he loses, I think it was Duelist Kingdom. I think it was the name of that arc. After he loses that, he takes his fucking money and everything. I think he even drops to high school and just focuses on the company and makes fucking Kaiba Land. He makes Kaiba Land and opens that amusement park and where orphans get in free.
Not it being called Kaiba Land.
Yes, it's called Kaiba Land.
Oh my god.
Now we have Ooh, do not do that. I just misclicked on something. I would have fucked up stream entirely. Now we have God of War. I almost just deleted the scene. Wait,
oh no.
What are we waiting for, Nairi? What do you want to say? You didn't talk about the rivalry? There was the rivalry. Because of their rivalry, Kaiba grew as a person.
You just talked about Kaiba.
Because that was the point. I talked about Kaiba because of the rivalry with Yuki. I didn't need to really explain that. I didn't really need to explain how the fucking power of friendship changes people.
Yeah.
It changed Kaiba. Yeah, it changed Kaiba in order to remember what was important to him. So
it's like not romantic Sora Riku.
I don't know. It could be
That's
romantic.
right, boys.
Honestly.
It could be romantic.
I
mean,
did not read romance from that, but that is valid.
you didn't read romance from that, but if you watch it, it's a little homoerotic on Kaiba's part. There is a fucking portion later, where Yugi lets go of the Pharaoh returns to the afterlife, and Kaiba really wants his salty run back. So he uses fucking magic and technology to send himself to the afterlife to get his salty run back.
Honestly, all rivals are kind of gay coded. There's like a little romance in every rivalry.
A little bit. Except this one.
Except this one. This one doesn't look very romantic.
This is not this is just God of War. God of War has several rival fights in the actual like the Norse variation of it. The one between Thor is the best fight in the series, in my opinion. And instead of me like just kind of explaining what happens, we can actually watch it because I played this.
Yeah, and it's a video game too.
Yes.
Don't take all day.
All right, some context here. The first game happened. Kratos ended up killing some people. Odin comes with Thor and goes, "Hey," and Odin's like, "Hey, I'll ignore all of that if you stop searching for the Norse god of war." And Kratos is like, "I wasn't. Atreus, what are you doing? What are you? Okay. Listen. Here's the deal. Fuck both of you, right? So that's what just happened here."
About time.
Let's go.
I've been waiting for
Your little avatar is cute, by the way.
blood from
This is like the second one I ever used.
blood payments. It means I get a piece of you for what you took from my family.
So, Kratos killed Thor's sons. Kratos did murder everybody.
Kratos do be murdering everybody.
That was for Boulder. Now show me this god killer I've heard so much about.
So-
he just hit me with a
so-
thunderclap.
Without your ass,
Thor is the god of thunder, but for all intents and purposes, in the mythology, he is the attack dog. Odin kind of like snaps his fingers and Thor goes up and kills things, which is like kind of an inverse of Kratos.
ever a god of
He was that at some point, but
Find out
then
the hard way?
Kratos is kind of like at some point Kratos goes, "Man, all of y'all suck. I'm killing all of you." Right? And now he just kind of wants to so he kind of wants to just be left alone. But
you spit on my son's memory.
I do also, I want to say, just not knowing anything about this, I do appreciate that the super tough guy that you're fighting has
Let's
like
go.
bodybuilder proportions and isn't
Yeah.
just like, they're not both just like straight up like regular old muscle men. Like,
It's not Christian-
even
it's
Kratos
not-
has like beef
it's
on
not
him.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, you
Exactly,
felt
like
that
even
shit,
Kratos
huh?
has some like weight to him. He's not just like hunky ripped, he's like ripped.
Yeah.
Because bodybuilders gotta eat a lot to maintain that shit.
Indeed, and Thor do be eating. You see him eating later in the game. Now I didn't mention it before, but Thor actually taunted me earlier in this fight. He goes, "Oh, you need your weapon to fight me." So the whole entire first section of the fight, you don't have your weapon and you can't use it. Now, Kratos, he wants to see. He wants to see how strong Kratos is, right? So he's this whole entire fight is him trying to pull this fucking the old Kratos out. He wants that old shit.
That was sick.
Kratos didn't decide to just kill the gods in the OG. He wanted to kill Zeus because he betrayed him and the gods were protecting him. It is true, but for the most part, he was just like, "Fuck y'all."
Statue tear, you preachy old stick.
Shut the fuck up.
If you're not
That was the
fighting,
reference. What I just did there was a reference to Ashura's wrath.
Damn
where
right about that. Come here, motherfucker.
where Asher's Wrath, when you're fighting one of the bad guys, you just have the button to literally stop them from monologuing and fight them.
You should be better than this.
There are these are my ideal body types. You cannot change my mind. Dad bod and swole muscle man.
There is honestly, there are some like muscular characters that are like the skinny fit muscular buff dude that like is very like you're supposed to look hot, but I like
Anyway.
I appreciate it when people draw them like meatier
That hurt.
when they're like no
Okay.
you have like
Beat
be
your
like
motherfucker.
you have to
Come
like
here.
eat a lot to maintain that body type, so you're not gonna be like Hollywood skinny because then you'd be like dehydrated.
And just betrayed him because the Pandora's box was empty. The Pandora's box is empty, which fucked with some mind. Ah, yeah, that's true.
Get a clean slate.
Yeah, here he is. Here it is.
You're a destroyer, like me.
Then I guess I gotta destroy you too, bitch. Come on,
Okay,
Kratos.
okay. This is the best part. This is the best part.
Kratos? Did I lose that?
Oh, no. I say when we're done.
Whoa!
Oh, big.
That's so cool.
Until I
That's
see
actually
the
really
real
fucking cool.
That was sick.
Like, they gave the like fucking game over scream and everything, and he fucking resuscitates you. It's so good.
I love when games like utilize their own like UI and mechanics for shit like that.
No way my boys fell to this. Show me
Because they could have just been like, oh, you died and got resuscitated, but they showed you like the regular old game over screen. It's like
Yeah,
it
it's
uses its
so
own logic
good.
with you. I love that shit.
And you can tell I'm having fun because of how much I'm yelling, right?
Next
So,
you then literally give you a Mario 1-up. I know. That shit was sick.
now this is the best fight in the game. The game itself is really good, but in my opinion, this is the best fight in the game. And it's so sad because this is like the first actual fight.
Bro, we about to get fucking suplexed?
Fun fact, I'm
Not a
sure it's not
suplex,
spoilers, but
take that.
there's a fight in Hades 2 where you cannot pause for lore reasons. Would you fight during a... I don't pause during fights anyway, unless I have to, like, shit happens. So, the representation here is that Thor kind of represents the past Kratos. It is kind of like an inverse of how Kratos wants to be now.
Like,
He's not caring about his
Kratos-
family.
That's cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Kratos' growth, whereas like Thor is like maintaining
This is so fucking cool.
like
Yeah.
like a pattern, even if it's unhealthy.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's that's
You
still
can
not
kick the
working
guys
for you
in
anymore.
the nigga.
It's so good. This fight is so good. They have a run back later in the game, but like it's not as fun as this.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button.
This is the man who faced down Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen.
In all fairness, technically, I didn't do that. I didn't fight Sigrid.
Where's the love of the fight?
Also, I wanted to mention, like, they have similar, not similar skill sets, but they're equal kind of in power. As you can see by their clash that they had, that they had, and then making that big fucking frozen thunderbolt in the center.
Fuck.
Let the god of war out. Let me see him.
God, this game was so good.
That screenshot of that text definitely gets used before a new God of War game comes out on Twitter.
What happened?
Let him out. Let me see him. What?
Who are you? Show me. Show me the killer god.
Show them who you are!
I see why my sons fell to you. You even this lesser version of you. But I am not my sons. And your boy, Allfather, has plans for him.
Yeah! Catch that slow-mo.
Don't bring up the kid.
Yes! Yes, that's the fucking music I want to hear.
There he is.
The hype.
There's the
Honestly, the fight being this big and crazy is making the fact that his hammer has such a teeny tiny little handle, it's making it stand out a lot more.
To be fair, Warhammers are actually not big, like, at all.
Oh no, like realistically, but also just like it's such a tiny hammer in comparison to like how big and massive the fight is.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have a couple of honorable mentions to run through. How you doing, Wiz?
I'd like to throw in my own honorable mention
Sure,
with
yeah.
Zoro and Sanji.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. I'm not sure how equal in power they are. It's always seemed to me that Zoro is stronger, but they're definitely like they're equal enough.
I would say so.
Yeah.
They're equal in that they are insanely leagues above the rest of the crew.
Yeah, sure.
They're in their own category of thing.
Sure. Like rival friends. Yeah.
No, I meant like power level. I meant like Zoro and Sanji are like in a different tax bracket of power level than the rest of the crew, and then Luffy is like even above that power level, I would say, essentially.
Usopp on top. Usopp is Batman.
Usopp, my boy, my love.
You give Usopp enough prep time, he'll beat anyone.
100%.
Yeah, Usopp is just Batman.
With enough supplies and prep time, Usopp can do anything.
The tiny handle is in lore. It has a short handle because of Loki is a bastard and fucked up with the process of making it. Huh.
Oh, interesting. I just thought it was silly.
With how One Piece, I just know that Warhammers are either like the big fuck you sledgehammers, which you would probably ride a horse on, or the tiny one.
I like the big ones, but also I like the idea of like giant fuck you weapons.
Yeah, I mean we've seen enough anime.
100%. Like I literally made like a barbarian in Baldur's Gate 3 the other day, but I made it like a very small person to hold very big weapons.
All right, let's start off this list, otherwise we'll never start. Goku versus Vegeta, obvious one, iconic. I think that one's kind of interesting in the sense of Vegeta and Goku don't fight that often. You know what I mean? Like they fight the first time when Vegeta is a villain, and then they don't fight again until basically the end of Dragon Ball Z. I think for the most part, Vegeta has just kind of accepted that Goku was stronger than him because he has higher accolades. So they see each other on Namek. Vegeta dies to Frieza, and then Goku achieves Super Saiyan, and then Vegeta's like, I want to achieve Super Saiyan, so he catches up and achieves Super Saiyan. And then Goku. So you can even tell in the tournament of the Cell games, they have different ways of training. Goku. I'm sorry. Let's start with Vegeta. Vegeta tries to ascend to a higher form than Super Saiyan, and he gets Super Saiyan grade 1 or grade 2. Super Saiyan grade 2, I think it's technically what it is. Otherwise known as Super Vegeta, right? Which is in fact a higher version, a stronger version. It's a more powerful version of Super Saiyan. But Goku does the opposite. Goku just trains in Super Saiyan so that Super Saiyan is now his new base form. Which is two very different takes on the thing. They don't ever actually fight, but it very much shows how different their mind states are.
Yeah, their ideological differences.
Yeah.
Diametrically opposed.
Sure. And then Goku dies, and Goku eventually gets to the point where, while training in the afterlife, he reaches Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta never actually reaches Super Saiyan 2 until the point where the bad guy does bad guy things and makes Vegeta a bad guy again. He uses the quote unquote evil in his heart and changes it into a bad guy, and that's when he achieves Super Saiyan 2.
Can I tell you something real horrible? The only episode of Dragon Ball Z I've ever seen is like the fucking episode after Goku dies. So I've only ever seen like an episode of Dragon Ball Z where they're all crying and mourning Goku. And I was like, damn, I can't believe Goku dies. And I spent like so much of my life thinking that was actually like how Dragon Ball Z ended. That's the only episode I've ever seen. It was just like on TV, like on Toonami or something.
Well, I'm sure you didn't know about the Dragon Balls to bring people back to life and how that has no consequences.
None of that.
Right, yeah, naturally. But so Goku is now has Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta now has Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta's like, fight me. And Goku's like, we have bigger problems to deal with right now. And Vegeta's like, this is your only day on Earth. You're going to fight me. If you don't fight me, I'll start killing civilians. So yeah, naturally they fight. And then they come to find out that Vegeta, the plot happens, Vegeta sacrifices himself, right? Sacrifices himself, he dies. But come to find out later after the fact that Goku was technically holding back. He had Super Saiyan 3 under his belt, it just didn't use it. So Goku had gone even farther. So Vegeta this is like a weird scenario. Vegeta considers himself Goku's rival, but Goku is just like, yeah, I like fighting people. Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. This series of fights, it's kind of like a really cool, in my opinion, because it kind of shows like the dichotomy of like the power system and how everything works there. There's Quincy's, Soul Eaters, in Hollows.
I vaguely know these terms because I've seen like a little bit. I used to get Shonen Jump in the mail as a kid, so I've like read like a handful of like Bleach chapters.
This fight specifically makes me want to rewatch all of Bleach to get to this point again. The problem is that just long. But Ichigo versus Ulquiorra is probably also in my top 5 fights. I rewatch this fight every once in a while just to feel something. But basically, the first fight that they have, Ichigo has hollow side. Being a Soul Reaper, he has a hollow side to him, so they're not like opposites. But he's kind of struggling with it at the moment. So the first time they have a fight, the fight, they don't even actually fight, I think. It's just kind of Ulquiorra is there, and Ichigo gets his ass handed to him by his by an underling, right? Then the actual first time they fight, he has slight control over it. He can use his hollow form for about, I think it's like 15 seconds. So he goes all out swinging, right? He starts swinging, trying to beat his ass within 15 seconds, and it does some decent amount of damage, but it doesn't beat him. And Ulquiorra just kind of looks at Ichigo and goes, that was hollow stuff you were doing. Why can you do that? That's quirky. That's weird. Show me more. So now we have a whole entire thing of Ichigo has to like actually beat this guy because he's an enemy. And Ulquiorra is just kind of playing with him the whole entire time.
Oh, damn.
He fights him again. It's kind of more of the same at some point. And then you get to the third fight. The third fight happens. And Ichigo has like just mastery over his hollow form for all intents and purposes, right? He more or less just has mastery over it. And he starts fighting Ulquiorra. And Ulquiorra goes, all right, I might need to try. So he goes, I might need to try. They go to a different area, and Ulquiorra basically releases his power. He says I neglected to mention that Soul Reapers have have their swords and their swords have a released form, Arrancars kind of copy that. So the Arrancars are a specific type of hollow. Arrancars kind of copy that. Ukiura releases his fucking his sword form, and now he's just mollywopping Ichigo. It doesn't matter that if they were even, it's very clearly overwhelmingly not in his favor now, right? Oh, so he didn't use Super Saiyan 3. Okay, let me read this real quick. He didn't use Super Saiyan 3, also because he knew it would drain his time allowed on Earth. This is true. Goku was dead on Earth. He only had 24 hours to be on Earth. He didn't use Super Saiyan 3 because that would make that time shorter. Question is, did Aizen know about Ukiura's real power? I'm sure he did. Aizen is a very smart fellow. Just because Ukiura didn't, he mentions at some point that Ukiura has not shown Aizen his real power. Oh, Aizen's the big bad of the arc.
Just know that name. I've definitely heard that name before.
Yeah, just because he didn't show Aizen his real power doesn't mean he didn't know about it. But anyway, Ichigo and Ukiura were fighting. He releases the sword form. It is not close. It is very much fucking Ukiura is just it's just mopping the floor with Ichigo's face. But at some point, Ukiura just, as he's whooping his ass and not killing him, he goes, "You still haven't let go of your sword yet. Why are you still fighting?" And Ichigo is like, "It doesn't matter if I can't. It doesn't matter if I have the ability to beat you. I'm still alive, so I have to keep fighting." Which fucking gangsta shit. But
yeah, exactly.
but Ukiura goes, "All right, then I shall give you despair." And releases his sword for a second time, releasing his true power. You know how I said it wasn't close before? We don't even see the fight anymore. Now we switch to side characters, and they're going, "Oh shit, Ichigo's fighting people. We have to go hurry up and see if we can give some support." And they're rushing up. All they feel is the fucking dread in the air, but as Ukiura's power is being released, and then we get up to it, and fucking Ichigo is being held up by Ukiura's tail, and fucking we just watch him die. We just watch, like, he's legitimately, and I mean for all intents and purposes, Ukiura kills Ichigo, blasts a hole in his chest. Watch his ass drop to the floor. Orihime tries to fucking heal Ichigo, it doesn't work. But this is when Ichigo's hollow form uses a Sarah on his chest, which is basically a fucking beam. I would love to show you this fight. This fight is so fucking cool, but we can't watch it because copyright. But basically at this point, Ichigo is having like an internal monologue while while fading away, and he goes, "I have to get up. I have to keep fighting. I have to keep fighting." And then at this point, Ichigo's hollow form completely takes over. He is now 100% all intents and purposes hollow, and his hollow form starts beating Ukiura's ass. Just fucking whooping his ass. Like, it's like, remember when I said it wasn't close? It's not close. I think one of the best parts about this about that is that when Ukiura releases his second form, when Ichigo's still normal, right? He does like a nothing personal kid, right? Where he kind of like rushes towards him, and then
nothing personnel kid.
Yeah, he kind of rushes towards him. The camera pans to Ichigo as he puts his guard up, right? But then we see Ukiura like tackle him from the side. And then it was because he moved so fast, Ichigo didn't get the chance to literally react because he thought he was still in front of him. Hollow-fied Ichigo remembers this. He holds a grudge even. He does it to him. Does it to Ukiura.
Damn.
It's fucking great. Fucking again starts mopping the floor with Ukiura's face. But the problem with Hollow Ichigo is the Hollow Ichigo has actually no humanity. This is more or less just an animal. He knows that Ukiura is an enemy. He beats the enemy, and then he at some point starts torturing him. After he's already beaten, he blasts him in the face with Sarah, and he's gonna start fucking just slicing off his body parts. At some point, he starts like holding up his sword with intent to like stab him. And if one of the side characters comes in and stops him, he would have done so. But again, this is like a point where Ichigo is like 100% like animal. So all he sees is this person is getting in my way, and then
It's all
stabs him.
instinct.
He fucking stabs him, just fucking in the chest. Get the fuck out of the way.
Shit.
And it's going to kill him. It's going to kill his friend until Ukiura comes through and knocks the hollow mask off of Ichigo, reverting him back to normal. And then plot shenanigans.
The hollow thing is the mask thing. I've seen the bleach mask thing.
I actually have a necklace of it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Fuck, now I may need to watch Bleach. If you guys want, after the podcast is over, I will stream the fight. The fight is so fun. But it's kind of like the words. The dichotomy here is that Ichigo is fighting to save Orihime, and because that's just what his heart is telling him to do. Ukiura the whole entire time does not understand what a fucking heart is because he's a hollow. In more or less terms, he's more or less kind of an animal. And I think what the act of Ukiura knocking the mask off of Ichigo, despite the fact that he could not win that fight, is either him showing it's either him understanding what a heart is at the last second, or him respecting it at the last second. So basically at the end of this fight, Ukiura understands what the power of friendship represents. And he goes, damn, maybe I could have had that if I lived longer, and he dies. Bayonetta and Jean is just a cool fight. I don't really have much to say about that. That's two hot girlfriends fighting each other. Plot wise, Jean has all the same skills Bayonetta does. Literally bar for bar, word for word. They're exactly even. And they fight, and it's cool. Sonic and Shadow. I don't have to explain Sonic and Shadow to anybody here.
No. We honestly already had a whole thing about that.
Yeah, true. Raiden versus Jetstream Sam. Again, fucking. I might not say top 5, but definitely top 10. Oh my god, Raiden versus Jetstream Sam. You don't know anything about Metal Gear Solid, do you?
I didn't even know those were names from Metal Gear Solid.
You of all people need to experience Metal Gear Solid, because you may not I'll give you that, like, the overarching plot may not be like for you, because it's kind of just like war, and war sucks. But you would love Otacon.
I would love Otacon. I know I would.
You need to, just for him.
I know in my soul I would be very unhealthy about Otacon.
You would love Otacon. This is from Rising, right? Yes, Raiden and Jetstream Sam are from Rising. So
I see sorry,
No, go ahead, because I can remember what I was gonna say.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I see a lot of gay fan art of Otacon and one of the many snakes being gay together.
Probably Solid Snake.
Probably.
Yeah, because they're best friends. At some point during, I think it's Metal Gear Solid 2, they just do like a secret handshake and shit. Like they're boys.
Oh no, that's adorable.
Chat, you guys may need to help me out for the facts here. Raiden and Jetstream Sam. Raiden was a fucking child soldier, right? And Raiden's whole entire identity in his own game is to stop other child soldiers from being child soldiers. But he goes through this whole entire thing without doing kind of like lethal damage the whole entire time. And Jetstream Sam comes in and whoops Raiden's ass and is like, dude, how are you fighting without fighting to kill? He's like, I don't do that anymore. It's like, but you're losing. You're kind of losing my guy. Like you need to unlock the sauce a little bit. So, that's kind of their whole entire thing. It's like, you were raised as a child soldier. Not being a child soldier is not going to help you. Like, this is kind of how you are. You can, it sucks that it happened to you, but you can repurpose this bad thing and like take control of it for your own. Right? That's his goal as a rival character. And we get the fight between them. It's so good. It's so good. It probably could have actually given this life for Raiden versus Jetstream Sam, because that music is not copyrighted. It's so fucking good. There's a thing what happens when you're fighting Sam, and you can knock Sam's weapon out of his hand. And like Sam's theme's playing the whole entire time. It's playing with the lyrics, but as soon as you knock the weapon out of Sam's hand, Sam starts fighting with just his. He starts running the runs, right? He starts fighting, and the fucking his theme, cuts out the lyrics, and it's just like the instrumental until he gets the sword back. It's so fucking cool.
That actually serves.
That
actually serves real hard.
It's so good. But after the fight happens, after you beat Sam, you give the weapon to Blade Wolf. His name was Blade Wolf, right? I didn't just make that up. You give his weapon to Blade Wolf, and then Blade Wolf comes in later during the final encounter when you after you unlock the sauce, trying to beat Senator Armstrong. No, I didn't make that up. So fucking Senator Armstrong, and he gives you Sam's sword so you can fight him and beat him. It's so good. It's so good. Godzilla versus King Kong. These are just two giant fucking monsters fighting each other.
Why do bad bitches always have to fight each other?
I've always said that this fight is not even because Godzilla is a radioactive lizard and King Kong is a gorilla.
King Kong is large.
King Kong is big gorilla. Godzilla's a radioactive lizard. This is not an even fight. One of the motherfuckers, even if King Kong did have a fucking fighting chance against Godzilla, that's a radioactive lizard. The fallout by itself would kill King Kong. Like, come on, what are we doing?
So what I'm hearing is Godzilla versus King Kong is the Superman versus Batman of giant monsters.
Batman actually has a chance against Superman as long as Superman doesn't jump Batman.
Fair, but I just mean like radioactive magical superpowers versus Guy.
Yeah, I think in the movie they actually give King Kong an axe made out of one of Godzilla's tails, so that way his atomic breath doesn't fuck him. Godzilla still, as far as I'm concerned, Godzilla still won that fight though. I think he does actually win that fight. Someone correct me. But the reason why the humans in that movie brought King Kong and Godzilla onto the surface is because other kaiju and shit were fighting, and they needed Godzilla and King Kong to stop the other kaiju. That's why he was there in the first place. But Godzilla the whole entire time. Sorry, I'm gonna talk about Godzilla for a second. Godzilla the whole entire time is flexing on everyone. A fucking kaiju shows up, Godzilla is there and is whooping their ass every time. He is on. This is my set. Kicking everybody's ass. Even after Godzilla and King Kong team up to beat up the kaiju, Godzilla looks at King Kong and goes, "Don't come back." It's so good. All right, Optimus versus Megatron. I had to throw this in here because of my pops. He's the one who even got me into Transformers. Optimus and Megatron. If anyone has seen that new Transformers movie, Transformers 1, that movie is actually really good. Because Optimus and Megatron were like fucking best friends. They were cool. They were hanging out and everything. Now, if you go based on the canon of that movie that I'm totally about to spoil, so spoiler alert, they had to team up against a certain threat. But because the threat was one of them, they had very different reactions to it. Obviously, they found out that someone was betraying the whole entire like race of Transformers, right? And I think they called Cybertronians or some shit like that.
Oh goodness.
Because they live on planet Cybertron, so I think the term would be Cybertronians or something.
I didn't know any of this. I kind of only recently found out that Transformers were aliens. I kind of just thought that they were like things.
Have you not seen Transformers? The actual Michael Bay movie, the first Transformers movie, is actually a decent movie.
Nope, I've never seen one of the movies. I've never seen the cartoon.
The cartoons are just good. I'm sure if you watch the cartoon, even Transformers Prime, you'll find something to find gay in. But the first movie is just legitimately
there is like an entire dedicated fandom for Transformers specifically on being gay about them. Like, I've seen this, I've witnessed it.
There you go. You can find. I'm sure you'll find something. But point is, they had to team up. Optimus and Megatron had to team up in order to stop the threat. But threat stopped, right? Megatron feels some type of way about how he was treated, and I think it's portrayed in the movie very well. Again, spoilers. But Megatron reacts to being betrayed because he was like a very strong, like, kind of like loyalist, and then he just found out his whole entire like worldview was a fucking lie, right? And so he goes, so I think he has a very strong line. He goes, "Don't you want to do something about this guy?" And he goes, "Do something? I want to fucking kill him. I want to parade his body around the fucking around town to show how fucking shitty this guy was. I want him dead." And like at that moment, you go,
Oh shit.
But at some point, I think depending on the canon, how Megatron and Optimus become enemies is different. But it all stems from them trying to do something different. Optimus is very compassionate. So he obviously doesn't want to go around fucking taking over everybody's shit. And Megatron is like, let's go out to other planets and take those planets over. And when we take those planets over, we can have a new Cybertron. Right? We're all dying, right? We should just take someone else's shit, right? And Optimus is like, no, we'll figure it out ourselves. And that creates a kind of like rival dichotomy between them. I like anytime they fight, especially in the Michael Bay movies. Say what you want about the Michael Bay movies in terms of like story and how it's portrayed from the original comic/cartoon, but fucking hell, those fight scenes are so goddamn cool. And Optimus has the best fucking one-liners. I would listen to a whole, like, I forget the who voices Optimus, but I would listen to a whole like just compilation of that guy that voices Optimus just reading one-liners. It's so goddamn good. Now Cloud versus Sephiroth. Cloud versus Sephiroth is what I mean by a rival. Is what I mean by a rival antagonist. Because Sephiroth is a rival character, but he's also the antagonist of the story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now Cloud wants to save the planet, and Sephiroth wants to save the planet, but Sephiroth is fucking crazy. That's the difference here. I don't think I agree with the Cloud and Sephiroth being rivals. Sephiroth is straight up everyone's antagonist. No one is trying to one-up anyone per se. And that one-on-one fight at the end is all inside Cloud's head and symbolizing him being free from his influence. You can have that. I disagree. I would consider Cloud and Sephiroth a kind of like a rival representation.
Maybe narrative foils might be what you're looking for.
They're definitely foils, but I would consider them a rival because the entire time in Remake, I got your ass. Got you. You didn't expect me to talk about Remake, did you? His whole entire deal is to try to stop Sephiroth. Now, at any point during the game, Cloud technically has not fought Sephiroth unless you count Remake. Then he has fought Sephiroth. And he is trying to beat him. But Sephiroth's goal is entirely different. Comparatively speaking. He's trying to get Cloud to do fuck shit for him. So the reason why they are class in rival fights to me is because Sephiroth is trying to save the planet. At least in the sense of the original game. I'm not sure what they're trying to do with the remake. But in the sense of the original game, Sephiroth is trying to save the planet. And the way he thinks saving the planet works is that he's going to give it to quote unquote Mother. Which is
that like weird robot Metroid looking lady, right?
Genova. I was gonna say Genesis, that wasn't her name. Genova. He thinks Genova is an ancient, which she isn't. She's literally just an alien parasite. And he's going to merge himself with the planet and then travel to, I think that the idea is that he travels to other planets and eat those planets too. And that's what he thinks what saving the planet is. He's going to basically wipe out all human interference on the planet and then go to other planets and eat those. Like that'll save the planet. Now the Earth will be thriving at that point. And obviously Cloud's whole entire idea with saving the planet is to stop Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
A better rival fight would be Genesis and Sephiroth. Yeah, but fuck Genesis.
I don't know any of these characters, but that was very funny.
Fucking we didn't talk about Crisis Core during the Final Fantasy Marathon. We will eventually. But literally every character that isn't Zack in that game sucks.
Damn.
True, fuck Genesis. Genesis sucks. Now we have Jotaro versus Dio, which is another example of a villain antagonist. I'm sorry, rival antagonist. Because if you haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and you intend to at some point, you should skip ahead in the podcast a little bit because this is much better if you don't know what's going on. But Jotaro versus Dio is probably one of the, like, again, top 5. Gotta be up there in top 5. So Jotaro, you spend time with Jotaro the whole entire time, throughout the whole entire series. You know what his abilities are. His ability is to have a punch ghost. If you've seen a Persona, it's basically that. It's
Punch ghost.
That's what. So when he explained when Araki was explaining to his editor what he wanted like stands to be, he literally explained the with the terms punch ghost.
God.
So his whole entire thing is that he is Jotaro. His stand is extremely fucking fast. It's fast and it's really deadly. It can punch really hard and fast at the same time. I think within its range, no stand kind of competes with it. It's just very hard and fast. At this point in the story, we don't know what Dio's fucking stand does. We've seen it being used, but as far as you can tell, it's just like shit teleports. But like, it doesn't make sense because shit is happening while shit is being fucked around with, right? There's a video on YouTube that I can't play because copyright, but there's a video that says Dio's stand, but like every time its stand activates, even when you know what it does, it just jump skips to the next scene, and it's fucking terrifying. So while Jotaro and Dio are fighting, right, we learn that Dio's stand is the ability to stop time. Now,
yes, and I know that because there's a Toho character that's basically one big JoJo reference, and her thing is she can stop time.
That game is fucking amazing. Toho Luna Nights is an amazing fucking game.
I love you, Sakuya.
But yeah, he has the ability to stop time for a certain amount of time. That's just so we can understand how the ability works. He can stop time for, I think it's 6 seconds at a time. Which is, you've never been in a fight. I have. I cannot tell you how broken stopping time for 6 seconds in a fight is.
Yeah.
Like blinking during a fight is critical time wasted. 6 seconds is insane. That's a whole body. That's lethal damage on somebody in a fight, right? But as the fight is happening, as Jotaro is trying to get sneaky ways to get Dio's fighting. He stops time, and he's about to fucking kill Jotaro. Then Jotaro moved and stopped time. And he goes, "What the fuck was that? What is happening? Huh?" Right? He panics because you have this ability, this broken ass ability, and then your opponent just kind of like ignores it for a second. You're like, what the fuck's happening? What's going on? Right? So Dio takes a second to like kind of like get his bearings, right? Try to understand what's going on. And then he gets really close to Jotaro and he starts looking at him and goes, "What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I got it." And he like goes up to Jotaro, and touches Jotaro's sleeve for a second, and he pulls off a magnet and goes, "Ah, you sneaky bitch, you sneaky motherfucker! You made me think that I could stop that you could move with my stopped time, but actually it was just this magnet the whole time. Ah, you clever little bitch. All right, I understand."
So he was like magnetized to him.
So it was a pocket magnet. So it wasn't like a big deal. So there Dio gets the upper hand again. He gets ready to to destroy Jotaro. And now Dio is in Jotaro's range, and fucking Jotaro just goes, "All right, psych, bitch, I can move in the stop time," and punches him in the fucking head. So Jotaro has the we now figure out during the fight, dude, we've spent so long. We spent a fucking actual like road trip with these characters, and then another road trip in Egypt specifically with these characters. And Jotaro pulled this new move out of his ass, and it's the most worth it I pulled this out of my ass thing ever, because Jotaro and Dio have the same stand. And the reason why this is poetic is because Dio's body is not actually his body. From the neck, you actually remember this. Remember in
Yes, because his head.
Yeah, his head gets cut off. He stole Jonathan's body and grafted his head onto Jonathan's body. So,
oh shit, I didn't know that.
So the stand he's using is possibly some kind of combination of Joestar bloodline and his own bloodline. So them having the same stand is fucking poetic. On top of the fact that if you look at Star Platinum and you squint your eyes a little bit, it looks like Jonathan.
Oh shit.
So him having the same stand,
that's really interesting.
It's so good. So him having the same stand as Dio is very poetic. Now, it's very taxing on the body. So Jotaro can only do it for about 1 to 2 seconds. Dio can do it for 6 seconds, and then he makes a point at some point to make note of the fact that that his body is not completely used to Jonathan's, so he needs Joestar blood in order he needs to drink Joestar blood in order to, like, you know, fuse with them more, right?
Keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep
and he
going.
does. He does at some point. He gets Joseph's blood and drinks Joseph's blood, and now he can stop time for a full 10 seconds. But with the fucking shenanigans that the Joestars have, Jotaro gets past Dio's stop time by stopping time after Dio's stop time has happened. I don't know if that made sense, but basically after Dio's 10 seconds is up, time is still stopped, and he's like, "I can't move. What's going on?" And Jotaro lands fucking critical damage on him with the remaining amounts of his time. And then it just becomes like a one attack thing. But it's so good. It's still, like, narratively speaking, it's cathartic as fuck to me. But wouldn't the magnet not work because of since stop time? Imagine the logic behind that is that electricity, which is technically light, is not. It completely ignores Dio's bullshit. So, like, I would imagine that it's not stopped time, it's super slowed down time, and light just kind of ignores its powers. Because if stop time actually worked the way stop time was supposed to work in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dio wouldn't be able to see. Because light wouldn't move, and because light isn't moving, no light is hitting his eyes, and then he would be gone. So, I just imagine that light just kind of ignores Dio's stop time powers. When he absorbs Joseph's blood, he also dresses like a lesbian. For your own amusement, Magic, go ahead and just Google Dio Dio blood absorb.
Okay, let me. Dio blood absorbed.
If you see the one with lipstick, you got the right one.
Baby, what the fuck?
Lesbian.
I love punk lesbians.
He's lesbian.
Holy shit, you were not lying. That's the coolest butch lesbian you'll ever meet at the bar. That's your best high school gym teacher. Like
And then of course the number one fucking rival, I think a lot of people have also gotten through is Ryu and Ken. In terms of honorable mentions, Ryu and Ken, they literally got taught under the same teacher. Like, he doesn't get more like buddy than that. In Street Fighter Third Strike, and I think some of the other versions of Street Fighter 3 as well, they have an intro sequence where if one person chooses Ryu and the other person chooses Ken, they'll like fist bump. They'll touch gloves before the fight starts. Which is, for fighting games at that point in time, is really cool. It's a really cool detail to see.
No,
They also don't do it again. I think they do.
Also,
I think they do something similar in Street Fighter 6, but as far as the Street Fighter the lifespan, they don't do shit like that again until Street Fighter 6.
the only like fighting games I ever knew about like as a kid were Street Fighter, Tekken, and Soul Calibur, and that is very different than the rival characters in both Tekken and Soul Calibur.
Well, the rival characters in Tekken want to fucking kill each other.
That's what I'm saying, like, and also the same thing with Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur is like literally like it's God versus the devil, and it's like, oh,
True.
there's these two dudes that trained under the same guy, and they're like
They're just
evenly
chilling.
matched and buds.
There's also
Oh damn.
there's also the idea of Ryu versus Akuma. Akuma
Mhm.
trained with Ryu and Ken's master and know the same fighting style, but Akuma chose the murdery version of it. So he likes
Kuma chose
killing
to be named Devil.
True. So Ryu versus Akuma is usually like a fight of good. It's like a good versus. I don't want to say evil because Akuma himself mentions that Bison is more evil than he is. Akuma just likes killing people. He just likes fighting and killing people. He lives for the fight, more or less, right?
Mhm.
And Ryu is like, nah, we can keep him alive after we kill him. Or after we fight him. They're like, come on.
After we kill him.
Yes, we can keep him alive after we kill him. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, this right here is the rival fight. This is the rival fight. You can already tell based on some of the things that we mentioned beforehand. You can look at these motherfuckers and tell, oh yeah, these motherfuckers are rivals.
Oh no, absolutely.
You don't know anything about Devil May Cry, do you?
Nope, not a thing.
Perfect.
I know the devil may cry. I know
Ryu-
he was in that one Persona game featuring Dante, the Devil May Cry series.
That is not a Persona game, but yes, he was in that.
It's from the guys who do the Personaing.
They specifically don't do the Persona. That's why this statement is hilarious.
Though, I know what it is.
I'm trying to think of still never finished the end before. It's good. You don't really need to, but it's good. What am I thinking? What am I trying to say here? Trying to think of an equivalent for you saying that blasphemous ass statement that you just said. No, I can't think of it. I think of one. I'll leave it alone.
It's Persona-ish.
Did Persona even have a rival that wasn't Persona 5? No.
And I see fan art of those two all the time. Well, I used to when Persona 5 came out.
I liked Akechi much more when he became a rival, though. Like, when he became a rival and then joined the team for a little bit, I liked him so much more than I did before. He was just kind of like a little shit beforehand. Damn, Dante's Inferno's going crazy. I always intended to play that game. All right. So, we're gonna talk about Virgil. This is Dante's brother. Our main character, his name is Dante. Virgil is.
I know
yeah.
that much.
Okay, all right, sure. They're literally twins, right? I feel so bad because you guys are gonna get hit with ads. I can only snooze this one more time, so I'm gonna have to try to get through this before ads hit everybody. They're literally twins. Virgil is the blue Oni. That's why he's fucking blue. There is some point where Virgil separates himself between being like Dante and Virgil are half demon, half human, right? Virgil separates himself into a human and a demon, and his human half is literally just an introverted goth kid. Like, if you look up, think of Adam Driver and then make him goth, and that's what goth and introvert, and that's what Virgil is without the demon.
Odd. They're twins. One likes pizza, the other likes power, says Wheeze.
This is wait till we get to the Dante slide. But what happened? So the deal is that their father, right? Demons were fighting for control over humanity, right? And then their father, Sparta, one day just goes, "This is dumb. and then kills and beats every fucking demon there is. And seals and closes the portal to the demon realm. Now, obviously, he's fucking big dick in order to do some shit like that, right? He's very, very strong. The way that it's like the way that in lore is responded to, like it's portrayed as, is that he says Sparta awoke to justice. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it sounds hard as fuck. It sounds so cool.
Crazy line. I have no clue what that means, but
Sparta awoke to justice and then turned on his brothers for the sake of humanity. But obviously because of this, demons want they get that. So Sparta, something happens to Sparta. I don't know if he dies, he fucks off somewhere. I don't think anyone actually knows. So, if someone does know, the chat will tell me. But literally, what happens is demons attack and attack their household, and it kills Dante and Virgil's mom. But during the attack, their mom, her name's Eva, I think. Eva hides Dante and goes out to search to find Virgil, but she dies before Virgil reaches him. Before she reaches Virgil, rather. Excuse me. Hence this next line: "If she found me instead, would our lives have been switched?" But basically, what ends up happening because of this is that Dante goes out of his way to kill demons now, because demons take his mother away from him, right? And Virgil, being left to his own devices at the very young age of 10 or some shit, goes, "I was weak. I couldn't protect anything. I'm scared. I'd never want to have this feeling of being scared and not being able to protect myself again. I need power."
Okay.
And I'm sure you've seen enough anime to know that people who go, "I need power," is immediately on a villain.
Yep.
Now, you can tell by looking at him that Virgil is very Eastern inspired. He definitely watched anime as a kid. He's got the fucking katana. He's got the fucking Eastern jacket. His whole entire plot anytime he's in a game is, I need to get stronger, because if I'm stronger, I'll be able to protect myself. I won't feel scared anymore. And he decides to use his brother Dante as a measuring stick. If I'm stronger than Dante, then I'm strong. So that's what's going on here. Dante, the main twin, look at that motherfucker. That's red Oni as fuck. Dante's literal creation, his literal creation was, how do we make this stereotypical Western action star stay cool without cursing? That's what happens.
Doesn't know what sex is. These little bullet points are killing me.
So he's very red Oni, very extroverted, very silly, wacky. As I said, wacky Wahoo Pizza Man. Gay cowboy. Which is actually a reference to the reboot Dante. When they were trying to make a reboot Dante, they were trying to kind of find the character, and they have a slideshow of what Dante isn't, and when the slide says Dante ain't no Brokeback Mountain.
What? Hello?
So, and that's a reference to what he looks like in Devil May Cry 4, which he looks like a gay cowboy.
Gay cowboy.
Look at, I implore you, Google Dante Devil May Cry 4. He looks like a gay cowboy.
Oh, I know what he looks like in that one. He looks like Taylor Lautner.
He's compassionate. He protects to fight others. In Devil May Cry 3 specifically, he has a plot point. His plot point is that he's just killing demons at that point. He doesn't like demons. He even goes as far as to say that he doesn't have a father, because that's how much he hates demons. He meets Lady, and then Lady kind of reminds him of his human side to him, and the reason why humanity is cool.
I'm so sorry. I did Google Devil May Cry 4. I thought you meant the one where he has the brown hair. That is a gay ass cowboy.
Yeah, no, you were thinking about reboot Dante. Yeah, gay cowboy.
In his mouth.
You found the one with Lucifer.
Oh my god, I'm seeing so many pictures of him, and it's
gay
killing
cowboy.
me.
Gay cowboy.
Gay cowboy. No, honestly, Gay Cowboy. I love Gay Cowboy.
What was I saying?
I'm so sorry I interrupted you. The fucking rose in his mouth with the chaps, with the patterned chaps, killing me.
No, yeah, he meets Lady, and he rediscovers his compassion for humanity, and goes, you know what? I'm not just gonna kill demons. I'm gonna kill demons to protect humanity. But he's not gay. He makes me gay. That is a statement from Naruto. As I said, Dante doesn't know what sex is. He's literally has an office surrounded by women, and is like, it's the most platonic it could ever possibly be. You get the feeling that the women are gay for each other.
Amazing.
There is more sexual attraction between the women in the office than there is sexual attraction for Dante. He doesn't know what sex is. But he's Western. He has the fucking claymore. It's claymore. I'm pretty positive. And he's got the fucking the guns as well. He's got a devil may cry attitude. Just like in real life. What the hell? Everyone can be a gay cowboy if they try hard enough. It's not hard to be a gay cowboy. Being a cowboy is halfway there.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of cowboys were already gay as hell.
Have you seen Brokeback Mountain? No, actually, I have not seen Brokeback Mountain. Fun fact. But yeah,
they were up there eating beans and fucking braver than the U.S. Marines.
So, all of this to say that when in Devil May Cry 3, you fight Virgil 3 times. The first fight is more Dante awakening to his devil powers and getting onto the same level as Virgil. Virgil kind of watches Dante. Dante and Virgil the second time just kind of have a half fight. I think it gets interrupted by some of the shit. And what I have here is Dante and Virgil together as brothers destroying the final boss, killing the final boss, who his whole entire deal was to take their father's power for himself and to become super powerful and strong and shit, right? They beat him, and then immediately after that, they start fighting. Which goes to my point of saying I think the fight between the rivals sometimes is more compelling than the actual villain.
No, 1,000,000%.
Now the slide is called. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's because there's like narrative connection there more often. Like bad guys are usually just like, I'm the bad guy because I'm the bad guy, but then rivals are like, we are like intrinsically connected in a certain way that's like very fun.
Like, these two are literally brothers in this sense, right? So I have the slide is called Dante Must Die. Not because of anything anyone says, but in Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry is a character action game. Character action games are generally not that long. The point of a character action game is to play it again on a harder difficulty, and then you'll over time as you're playing the game over and over again, you'll have mastery on it. Dante Must Die is one of the hardest difficulties before it just gets to like the fun shit, which is Heaven and Hell, which is everything dies in one hit, and then Hell and Hell, which is you die in one hit. Dante Must Die is a very hard difficulty in the sense that it changes enemy patterns. So enemies now have attacks that they didn't have before, which means if you're playing this game on anything that isn't Dante Must Die mode, Virgil doesn't even do half the shit that he would normally do. You don't even get the full version of the fight. Play it on the harder difficulty for cool shit. So that's what this slide is called, Dante Must Die. Unfortunately, I have not played this for a recording yet. So this is not me playing it, which is the credit to Donguri990 on YouTube. So they have each other's weapons.
Ooh. I kind of love that. Not the spinny guns.
Remember what we used to say?
He smiles.
Jackpot.
Oh, that's actually sick as fuck.
So it's also really highly implied that both of them said that as when they were kids together.
Very classy for someone's dying.
Because they thought it was cool. And Dante is the only one who still does it because Virgil's an adult now. He goes like, "That's cringy. Stop that."
That's cringe. I'm an alpha male.
Okay. No, I need to stop him.
They jump into the butthole.
They did, in fact, jump into the butthole. So that sword represents their father's power. That was the sword their father used.
Give that to me.
So he needs the amulet because that opens portal to the demon realm.
Your own.
They both have some.
Well, I want yours too.
Childish thing ever.
What are you gonna do with
That's right, boys. Mondo cool.
How hard you try, you're never gonna be like father. We're wasting time.
Oh, I love old graphics like this. Oh, fuck yeah!
Within each of us flows his blood.
I didn't show it before, but in this game, there's specific instances where the rain is falling on Virgil's hair, and Virgil looks like Dante until he flips the hair that is on.
It's saying it wants to stop you.
I love that. That's
I think I said that backwards, but yeah.
corny as hell, but baby, I was born on the cob.
I need more power.
There it is.
And we're supposed to be twins. Twins. Right.
And now we get the fight. This is on PS2. It was on PS2. Do not play the version on the PS2. Either mod the version on DMC 3 on PC, or play the Switch version.
God, I love like these old PS2 graphics and UI though.
Now, you've never played a Devil May Cry game. Obviously, Dante's the red one. Do you know what the fuck is happening?
One of them wants demon powers, and the other one's like, no demon powers for you.
No. I'm talking in terms of gameplay.
Oh, no, fucking, no, I have no idea.
Like, this looks insane if you don't know what's going on.
Someone's hitting all the buttons.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't do that in this game. You can't just hit buttons in this game. You'll die.
Oh.
So everything that he's doing is very intentional. He's switching weapons to do certain things. I think this person is using...
Shit.
I think this person is using... He's switching between two styles. Dante has gameplay-wise has different styles that he can use. He switched between Quicksilver and Swordmaster. Quicksilver, I think he's using Trickster as well. And Royal Guard. Royal Guard, you can block any attack as long as you hit the button with the correct timing. When you do it, it fills up your Devil Trigger, which allows you to use your demon powers. Quicksilver allows you to stop time for a certain amount of time. Trickster allows you movement. Swordmaster allows you more sword moves, basically. He's switching between Acne and Rudra. I think he's switching between all the weapons, which is Acne and Rudra, which is these two swords here, which is fire and ice powers. They're two swords. That's all you really need to know. I think he's using Beowulf before, which is punch kick, and then his main sword. And then he's switching between Ebony and Ivory, which is the two guns, and I think the shotgun. So what was happening here? I'll try to explain it as a cause out because it's fine. It's going to take a while. It's that he's shotgun stinger. He's moving around, stopping all of these attacks, moving out of Virgil's attacks, hitting him, staggering him when he can. He's doing this so Virgil brings these swords around him. He stops time. It stops the swords from spinning around them, because if you don't stop them, they'll start swing. They start throwing shit around you. They start trying to hit you. Virgil just used the judgment cut, which is the fucking, you know how like in samurai movies they have like the I pulled my sword out and like I pulled my sword out and fucking sheathed it again, and after I sheathed my sword again, the thing gets cut.
Yes, yes.
Virgil has that, but it's projectile. So anytime you hear fucking Virgil go boom, boom, you hear that sound effect? That's what he's doing.
God. I'm like so exhausted from work. Watching this is like I'm on like I feel like I'm on LSD. It's
like this is like Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 5 are like the highest forms of skill expression in video games, in my opinion.
It's fucking insane looking at this. Knowing that this is all like intentional and being thought out as it's done is like I feel like I'm on crazy pills.
So you saw right there, Virgil used the judgment cut, and our player jumped in the air because jumping in this game gives you iframes, and then fucking parried it.
Damn.
Stand still.
I also love the like rhythm game like modifiers you keep getting, like crazy dope.
Oh yeah, the style meter. I think this game invented the style meter. So,
oh, damn.
So Devil May Cry has the style meter, obviously, and it tells you how well you're playing. The longer you're attacking and not getting hit, the higher the style meter goes, and it goes into your overall in-game ranking. If you want like a really high style meter, you can taunt your opponent. Bayonetta takes it a step further, where if you taunt your opponent while doing so, it'll aggro your enemies.
Damn.
Stand still.
My internet keeps stuttering too, so sometimes they move in like slow motion, and it takes me a second to realize that that's not part of the game. Because sometimes they're moving and it like looks cinematic enough that I'm like, oh yeah, that's just happening.
Yeah. Here's also a really cool thing. You have double trigger in here, but you activate your double powers, you turn into a double, and you start healing slowly. Virgil has that too. And when you're in this mode, it starts healing you. It heals Virgil too. So that's what happens if you don't break them all. They start circling you, and then it like tries to distract you from everywhere. The shotgun does a lot of damage. This is Judgment Cut N. All these fucking cuts, like, following you.
Damn.
Fucking amazing. I believe you have to not repeat. Yeah, so Landy also mentions that you can't, in order for the style meter to go up, you can't repeat things either.
I don't know if they're supposed to, but I kind of like the weird twin saws that he has. Like, the red one looks like gums with teeth. So it's
so the enemy you get those. So Dante takes the weapons off of his enemies or turns their soul into weapons after he beats them. The weapons that you get from those guys don't have heads. They're just like golems that don't have heads because their heads are on the bottom of the pommel of the sword.
Oh, so it is a little appropriate to call those kind of looking like teeth. They kind of look like jaws.
They are. They probably are teeth. Yes.
That's really cool.
So
I like that.
The thing is that Dante's like, I'll bring you with me. I'll bring you two with me if you don't talk, right? And there's a move. The move where he's like swinging his swords wildly like that. They start yelling. They get hit, and he tells them to shut up after.
God.
Am I being defeated? What's wrong? Is that all you got? Come on.
Oh, the line delivery.
You can do better than that.
Fun fact, Ruben Langdon does the mocap for Dante, and also was the Power Ranger.
Oh, hell yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he does it anymore. I think he's decided he's done. He doesn't want to do acting anymore. But there you go.
I'm just a guy now.
Stop you, even if that means killing you.
Oh, I love anime PS2 graphics so much. Oh shit, that was actually a really cool shot.
Now, I would like to point out that since he didn't clearly cut himself in half, he cut him so fast that his healing factor is so good, it healed before the blade cleaned through him.
Oh shit.
No one can have this, Dante. It's mine. It belongs to a son of Sparta. Leave me and go if you don't want to be trapped in the demon world. I'm staying. This place was our father's home.
Oh, the cut on the hand was a nice shot.
Pulled the Kratos special. See, Kratos pulled the DMC special because
what happened next? Nothing.
this came out before Devil May Cry. Or this came out before, not Devil May Cry, but Devil May Cry came out
I
before
still have a job to do that's far from
God of
done,
War.
which is to eliminate every last demon. I need to ensure
I was
that
unsure
monsters
what
like my
time period
father never
begins
come
because
about
school
again.
was
And he promised to
jarring.
help me hunt down the demons, even though he's
I was like,
not one
the
himself.
normal things? Wait.
But now I realize that there are humans as evil as any devil, as well as kind and compassionate demons in this universe. At least I've found one so-called devil who is able to shed tears for those he cares about. That's enough for me to believe in him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And Dante stays in this position until the next game.
Oh, speaking
Fucking
of a kind
amazing.
devil, he finally decided on a name for his shop. It took him quite a while to pick one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wanna know the name? Devil May Cry.
Ugh,
Damn.
it's so good. Yeah, but that's it. Rival fights are the coolest. Don't at me.
Fuck yeah.
Anyone? Any questions? Any comments?
I
Concerns?
do not think I have any questions. I'm just honestly still blown away by the fucking anime drama of. I miss that era. I miss that era when people were doing that unironically. When people were like,
it
yeah, we're gonna
happens
have.
still.
I mean, they do, but there's always that twinge of like ribbing, like, we get it, it's goofy, but like, nah, man, you have to full send that shit. I want you to believe in him kicking the table on the phone, flying up, and him catching it. That's the level
Okay.
of cheese that I wish people
Since-
still believed in.
since we're done and we're doing cheese, would you like to see my favorite cutscene? So I mentioned that I didn't really play video games up until like actually relatively recently. Until I got into college, I didn't really, until I got into high school, I didn't really play video games. But I saw video games all the time. Can I show you the cutscene that made me go, oh my god, this is everything I want in a fucking video game?
Yes.
Okay. Did a good job there. Thank you. But the fucking rival fights are some of my favorite fights just in general. It's so goddamn good. Is it not the opening fight? It is the opening fight. There we go. Not this one.
You've heard of it, haven't you? The Legend of Sparta? When I was young, my father...
Okay, well, I'll just play the whole. It's 6 minutes. We can play the whole entire thing. Why not?
Long ago, in ancient
Sure.
times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic realm and sealed the evil entities off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself, his power was also trapped on the other side. I never believed it. I thought it was just a child's fairy tale. but I discovered that this so-called legend wasn't a myth at all. Sparta existed.
If you actually look at the choreography for them, they're not doing anything. They were just swinging and missing.
Sons of Sparta.
Yeah.
Both of them. Though the same blood of their father flowed through their veins, the two battled each other fiercely.
So they're swinging so fast, they create a fucking arc of water around them.
That's actually
It's so
what
good.
fucking
As if they
rip
derived
shit.
some
That's
sort of twisted
awesome.
pleasure from this brotherly fighting.
They're swinging at each other so hard that the fucking blades create heat.
Damn, bitch. The drama. You could sell perfume to this opening video.
But in the end,
So this is actually, I think, this is either the first or the second fight. I can't remember. I think it's the first one.
only one was left standing.
Oh, that's right.
This is the first fight? Okay. So this, you actually get to play this fight later and see why that happened.
Oh, okay. Wacky Wahoo Pizza Man. God damn.
Sorry, not open for business yet. I haven't even picked a name.
So imagine a little infinite, fucking 8 or 9 years old on YouTube. I see this shit.
You a customer too? Well, if you want to use the bathroom, help yourself. The toilet's in the back.
Is your name Dante, son of Sparta?
Where did you hear that?
From your brother.
Put the fries in the bag.
He sent this invitation for you. Please, accept it.
Invitation, huh?
Oh
Some of you see me eat pizza. This is why I do that.
my fucking god. What the fuck is happening?
It's not even warm. Yeah, he just came out of the shower. That pizza's cold as hell.
Holy shit.
And he just walks out of this like this plethora of fucking demon attacks. And I want the pizza.
Literally. What the fuck? God damn, I need shit to be this corny again.
Crazy. Let's
I
rock.
love this.
So this move that he's about to do,
Oh my god.
you can do this in the game.
I love that. Holy
They'll-
shit.
When they made Dante, I think, when they made this game specifically, I think, they wanted to say, hey, let's have cutscene Dante and make the player, give the player the ability to do all the shit you do in the cutscenes.
God, the fucking billiard balls.
Dope better. So I
God
was
damn.
fucking like 9 or 10 when I saw this shit. I was like, oh! Ah! Ah! And then
Holy
it was at this
shit,
moment that
dude.
red and black became Young Dragon's favorite colors.
Yep.
So your fun fact for the day is I actually did start repping red and black until I got into college. It was actually
damn.
blue. It was actually blue and gold.
Remember you saying something about that? Not the pizza. Nice, pizza survived. No. Forgot that the pizza died. He turned it into fucking pizza.
I can already tell. Looks like this is gonna be
One hell of a party.
God damn, dude.
Fuck you. I don't have to rep this guy because he repped himself. But fuck that was like I saw that shit and I was like, I need every game to be this.
Holy shit, dude.
I fucking love that cutscene. That cutscene did so many things for me.
Pizza time.
Fucking, this is the canon event for me. Yes, it was. Oh my god. But yeah, all right. It's because of Devil May Cry that I love rival fights, and rival fights are amazing, and I think Devil May Cry has the best one. Even in the context of characters that aren't the main rivals, like obviously the main rivals are Dante and Virgil. Nero, spoiler alert, that's Virgil's son that he didn't know he had, has a rival fight with a character named Credo, and that fight's the best fight in Devil May Cry 4. It's just amazing. When you know the mechanics and you know how to fight Credo, it's the best fight in the game. But I think we're done. I think we're good. I will hang out in the Discord because I do want to show you guys the fucking Ukiora fight. So we'll do that afterwards. But anything you want to add on, Magic?
Not at the moment. I love the absolute cheese in that. It was great.
I highly
but
recommend
also,
if you get time later, just watch someone play it or watch the cutscenes. It's fucking great.
I also very much just like rivals in general. I do love the trope of rivals because I like because like I said earlier, I'm extremely tired right now, so that's why I'm like stuttering a lot. But I like the trope of rivals because a lot of the time villains are sometimes just like they're just evil and then the good guys just good, but the rivals usually are also usually narrative foils in a way that it's really, really interesting. Like, whenever I do my presentation on my wizard husband, I have a favorite ship for him in the series that you can actually do if you play him or the other person in the ship as the main character. That I will be talking about because they are so like their storylines are like so interwoven and like as characters they're like parallel mirror images of each other in opposites and the same way that is just so interesting and dynamic to look at. So I do really enjoy rivals because usually they have a lot of nuance put into the way that they're written around each other and as individuals that I like.
We love good writing.
We love good writing.
All right. We're going to go ahead and raid into Amy Spammy.
Amy Spammy.
They are playing Resident Evil 2. Spooky vibes. Thank you, Magic, for hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow doing something. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, though. It'll be something.
I might be going to bed after this. I'm very tired.
FF9. Naru, my power is going to go out, man. I don't want to start doing FF9 and get really deep into the thing and then be gone for a fucking week. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll play some more Sonic Generations since we beat Shadow now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out with me for these 8 hours. Thank you, Magic. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Love you.